and welcome to my channel, Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I'm the Ginger Ninja and I review movies. If you're a new viewer, thank you very much for tuning in. If you wouldn't mind, please do consider subscribing to my channel and checking out my previous videos. If you would mean a lot to me. If you're a returning viewer and subscriber, thank you very much for your continued support. It truly is appreciated. So what I do in this series is I'm going through the ABCs of horror. What that means is A through to Z, I'm going through a movie a week, choosing a movie starting with that letter in the alphabet. This week we're up to the letter N, so let's see what movie I'm looking at this week. Okay, and welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at Night of the Creeps. Now this movie came out in 1986. It was directed by Fred Dekker. It stars Jason Lively, Tom Atkins, Steve Marshall, Jill Whitlow, and many more. This is my Blu-ray copy here. I will be touching base on this one. There's a lot of special features here, especially one which I really do want to discuss. And that's the difference between the VHS that I grew up on watching this and the Blu-ray, the different endings. So obviously with that, I will be discussing plot specifics. Spoilers are ahead, especially with the ending. If you have not seen this, recommend you do get it. Go watch it, it's worth it. So the plot involves alien brain parasites as a result of an alien experiment of some variety crashed to Earth in 1959, infecting a fraternity member. Now, 27 years later, we get to two college freshmen who pledge a fraternity. They accidentally thaw out the cryogenically frozen corpse of that frat member who was infected by the brain parasite, unleashing a wave of parasites across the campus. So, look, I'm going to go through something I found really good about this film. Fred Dekker and Shane Black were both involved in this film. Shane Black went on to do Lethal Weapon, a whole heap of movies, The Predator. He was in Predator as well. And Fred Dekker also did The Monster Squad. There's a lot of ties to different movies that these guys have done. And what I found really interesting was a bit of trivia about the movie. There's so many references to famous horror and sci-fi film directors. For example, the university is Corman University. Roger Corman's huge director. Chris Romero, George A. Romero, J.C. Hooper, John Carpenter, Toby Hooper, Cynthia Cronenberg, David Cronenberg, Ray Cameron as Detective Ray Cameron, played by Tom Atkins, who's brilliant in this, James Cameron, Detective Landis, John Landis, Sergeant Raimi, Sam Raimi. So a lot of different ties to various filmmakers. I guess, you know, giving them a bit of respect for the work that they've done, obviously, over the years. And it's, yeah, really cool to see. What I liked about this film is it had a lot of good, fun, likable characters. Although I will say that Chris can be a bit whiny. Maybe a little too whiny at times. Especially at the start. He is very whiny and you kind of don't like him. But then he grows on you. The transition used to go from the colour in space, where the brain parasites come from, there's an alien spaceship, looks pretty cool. Then it's launched out of the spaceship, it crashes to Earth in 1959, and it transitions from colour to black and white. And then it goes back to colour in 1986 when they're on the university campus. So I felt that was a really nice, it had a nice feel to it. Going from colour to black and white kind of felt like a homage to the 1950s horror sci-fi films. So like that really stood out to me. The acting in this film is fun, it's good. It's almost like they know it's a cheesy horror sci-fi film and they play it that way. Really good performances overall, great special effects, and they even to this day they still do hold up. The actual physical effects do hold up. Probably the only thing I really found off about this film was the pacing. And I think that can be an issue with when you're doing a horror comedy or a sci-fi horror comedy in this case, the pacing, because you're doing too many different things, it can get quite tricky. And I felt that this kind of missed the mark in that space. Good film, but like I said, pacing a little bit off. Now, I wanted to talk about the special features on this, especially the ending on this one. I grew up with the VHS. The VHS had the original theatrical ending. This one has an alternate ending. Now, in the original ending, the character of Cynthia, played by Jill Whitlow, at the end of it, they're watching their house, their sorority house, burn to the ground, and a dog comes up. And as we know, animals can be infected, and we recognise this dog. Right at the end, she bends down to pat the dog, brain parasite comes straight out. So you're kind of ending on it's going to begin again, they're all infected, or something like that. The alternate ending, which I found on the Blu-ray, is a brain, you actually see, and this is going to be a major spoiler, so like I said, you've been warned. Tom Atkins' character, he is the cause of the house burning down, the sorority house burning down. There's a huge nest of brain parasites there. He's going to burn them down. In the end, in this alternate ending, he's walking out, burnt to a crisp, still smoking a cigarette, falls to the ground, and a brain parasite runs out of his mouth. And it goes into a cemetery. Now, part of this film has there was a psycho killer in 1959 that was killed and buried under the sorority house or the house mother's house or something like that. So they can still infect dead bodies and there's zombies and whatnot, but the brain parasite goes into this cemetery, and then you get the original spaceship coming overhead with a spotlight searching for it. Look, that had a really interesting feel to it, like kind of the set design was kind of made me feel like Beetlejuice in a way, like the opening scene of Beetlejuice. But yeah, I think if they had just cut that bit out, if they had left the brain parasite slithering into the cemetery, that would have been a great ending as well. But I think adding that alien spaceship at the end was too much. But there you go, that's just my thoughts on the VHS ending that I originally grew up on compared to the Blu-ray ending on this one. Like I said, each to their own. It's not a major thing. It's a great film. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Even though it does miss the pacing, it's got good characters, good acting. The directing is fantastic. And personally, as a horror sci-fi fan, it's a great combination of the two. So overall, I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Still holds up to this day, and it's well worth a watch if you haven't seen it already. So thank you very much for taking time to watch this. If you would, please do consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing to my content, and I will put this out there now as I'm on to the letter N. Obviously there's 12 more to go. I am a little stuck on some of the movies coming up as to what to review for, particularly the letters X, Y, W, Z I'm pretty good with. I've got a few zombie ones up my sleeve for that one, but if anyone has any ideas on what I can review for, W, X, and Y, leave a comment down below, send me a message on Instagram, whatever, but I would appreciate if you could give me some ideas, because those ones I'm really stuck on. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a really great day. Bye.